The real fun beach is calling. Make it relaxing. Make it exciting. Make it yours. Take a hiking adventure or cruise into the sunset. Our sugar white sands.
Loving it.
You just said that.
I did. You know what's coming up is amateur ski stock, so we'll make this quick. Glad to be here again. Boy, what a difference a day makes.
Oh, my God. Treacherous surf conditions yesterday. The beautiful Gulf Coast has flattened out today. There are small rollers coming in. Mainly a really high-speed track so far today, Kurt. The winds will probably come up this afternoon and roughen things up, but right now it's high speeds out here.
Well, that's good. We can see, the more technical riders will do well out here.
Absolutely. A beautiful day here in Panama City Beach, Florida, right in front of Sharky's Beach Restaurant, and we are ready to go here with race number 5 on the day. This is going to be amateur ski stock, and this is going to be Moto 1 for them. We're rerunning this. Yesterday they ran Moto 1, but there were so many issues with that race that the race director has decided to scrap it, going to re-race everybody for Moto 1, and here we go, Kurt.
Wow, that looks like Dustin Higdon out there with a hole shot. We'll have to see when he comes around. Looks like everybody got off the line well. Want to throw it out there. Race 6, Novice Sports Stock, Junior Sports Stock. You guys are up next at the halfway point. You should be there with your boat on the line. Thank you, gentlemen.
And just want to let everybody know I have relinquished my binoculars again today.
Graciously.
To scoring, so we can get the scoring accurate. The course is out there a ways, we're a ways back, so going to be a little harder to identify the riders on the outside, particularly during the first turn, and we'll do the best we can as they come around.
Oh,
22,
no, that's
the race
Kirsten
leader.
Frost, and he won the unscorable moto yesterday, so Frost out in front again.
Actually, Gary Holbein Jr. won it, Kurt.
Oh, that's right. Frost came in second.
Frost
he made that move at
second.
the end.
Yes,
that's
he did.
right. That's right. Good,
So,
good knowledge.
Well, I'm just looking at the scoring sheet from yesterday.
Well done, sir.
Nothing good on my part, but other than reading.
It's
yeah,
fundamental.
well, it helps. But Frost out in front, but Gary Holbein Jr. has been on a tear today. He absolutely ran away in the junior ski stock 13 to 15 a couple of races ago this morning, and he is on fire today. Young Gary Holbein Jr. is a rider to watch, a real up-and-coming talent in pro watercross. Let's see if he's got anything for Kirsten Frost and the rest of the field here in amateur ski stock, Kirk.
Yeah, I got to tell you, Kirsten Frost, what a story. This guy's really good friends with Scott Russell, a former multi-time national champion superbike racer. And if you look at Kirsten with the shirt off, you're going to see evidence of some multiple surgeries. He's had some problems out there, and it's good to see him out here leading this race and staying strong.
Absolutely. 995, Kevin Rowe in second place behind Frost, and Rowe elects to take the Joker buoy here, and here he comes around the outside of Frost, and he'll go into the lead.
Yeah, Kevin Rowe, it's gonna be a bear for Frost now, because Kevin Rowe is not an easy rider to pass.
Oh, Frost goes down, Kurt.
Yep, he got into that pump wash. He's used to riding in that clear water.
And I just reached for my binoculars to take a look. They're not here.
All right. Well, there's Seth Pettit out of Providence Village, Texas. We appreciate him coming all the way out here down the front straightaway. Charlie McGuinn out there. He's taking the Joker, trying to catch some distance up.
Keep an eye. Our race leader now, 995, coming around. 995 down the front straightaway. That is Kevin Rowe. Frost now 22 in second behind him. And then in third, it's 85. That's Dustin Higdon out of Tennessee in third. Gary Holbein Jr. in fifth right now, trying to work his way up through the pack.
Yeah, well, Gary's got his work cut out for him. All that aerated water in front of him he's got to take extra distance to try and get in the more solid water, either inside or outside. He's doing a good job of it now. We'll see if he can make use of that long back straightaway. Try and use that power to weight ratio. He only weighs about 36 pounds, I think.
Seemingly.
Actually, that was last year. He's probably 42 by this year.
Exactly right. And he typically
there he
gets a good start. So he got a bad start and is mired back a little bit. So it's going to be fun to see him work his way. Boy, he loves that outside line around the end of the back straightaway and put it to good use now, working around riders. Here comes Holbein Jr. We just talked about him. He just went around 2 riders. Our race leader comes down the front straightaway. That's Kevin Rowe, 995, 22 Frost in second, Higdon in third, and now Holbein Jr. in fourth, closing in quickly on Dustin Higdon. Higdon, Kurt.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Gary's on a tear right here. Kirsten Frost trying to hold second. Kevin Rowe gone. He's checked out. He's on his way back to Texas.
Yeah, he's riding a fine race. Kevin Rowe out of Tennessee, riding for the Chattanooga Jet Ski Club on the Yamaha Superjet.
My apologies, Kevin fans. I said Texas, I meant Tennessee.
Yeah, I know you meant that. Kirsten Frost looking real good on that SXR 800 Kawasaki, riding for Jet Dynamics, our good friend up in Idaho. Glenn Dilworth up there builds some really fine ride plates and scoop rates. Known him for a long, long time. Always a fixture at the World Finals for
racer either.
And very talented jet boat racer, you bet. Here comes Higdon one more time. That checker flag's coming out. I'm sorry, Rowe, 995. Yep. Kevin Rowe, he'll take the win.
Here goes Frost. Oh, and Gary Holbein goes down. He was trying to make a move. Couldn't do it. He better get up or he's going to lose that position.
Frost takes second. Higdon third.
Oh,
Holbein goes to the makeup buoys. And that's going to cost him a position. He'll end up in fifth.
That was Karis Webster who made the move into fourth.
So Webster in fourth. And Gary Holbein Jr. rounds out the top 5 here for Moto number 1 of amateur ski stock.
Well, that was a good race, and looking forward to 2 more motos of that.
Make it relaxing. Make it exciting. Make it yours. Take a hiking adventure or cruise into the sunset. Our sugar white sands and turquoise waters are just the beginning. Plan your trip now.
Pensacola, Florida. Sponsored by EBS, ODI Grips, the PWC Doctor, Eddie English Trailers, Christian Morris.
787 out of Warner Robins, Georgia, on the Sea-Doo, riding for Jet Trim and Moto Option, Nick Murphy.
And in the junior sports stock, 13 to 15, bouncing in there on the number 59 out of Denver, North Carolina, sponsored by Champion Power Sports, Fly, Reva, Jet Trim, and Coba Energy Drinks, Caden Baldwin. That's our lineup. Race number 6, motor number 2.
So yesterday it was David Hancock taking the win, Caden Webster behind him in second. And this is completely different conditions than we had yesterday. It couldn't be any more different here in Panama City Beach, Florida. Yesterday was absolutely treacherous for both the racers and our course marshals, as everyone got a beat down yesterday out here.
Wow.
And today, much, much calmer. Some small rollers coming in.
Oh, and, there we go. Caden Baldwin. Caden Baldwin hitting and getting it on that Sea-Doo HX.
Novice Sports Stock, Moto number 2, HX out in front.
See Jessica Burtka back there in the 4th position. This is Caden Baldwin.
Baldwin on the gas on that HX in front of Webster. Webster number 14 down the front straightaway. Webster leading novice sports stock. Baldwin in his own class in junior sports stock 13 to 15. But heck, Caden leading the whole affair here.
Right, there's David Hancock.
And Webster goes right to the Joker buoy immediately.
Right.
And that is probably going to allow him to get by Baldwin. And it does not. As he backs it down just a little bit, Caden shut the door. And Webster spins out.
Caden Baldwin, large and in charge out there on the back straightaway. He got the hole shot, and he's making good use of it. Caden Webster tearing up after him. These two going to have a battle all race long.
Caden and Caden out in front. That must have been a popular name about 13, 14 years ago, 15 years ago, as he is leading this thing. The young 13-year-old out of Denver, North Carolina, looking fantastic today. Caden Baldwin, in 1 year, this young man has matured immensely.
Right.
And he is a rider, boy. He is a racer, isn't he? What a great talent. As we've watched him from his first ever race at 10 years old, and what a difference, huh?
I got to tell you, my favorite Caden Baldwin story is last weekend when he shows up without his dad. It says, heck no, I don't want to race a couch. I want to race a stand-up. And he makes it to the races himself. That's a racer right there.
Well, with the help of Charlie McGuinn.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
They had about 8.5 hour drive to get to the races last weekend, and Charlie said, yeah, there were a lot of stories.
Yeah. Well, right now, Caden Baldwin with the drive, but Caden Webster looks like he's starting to move up there. Now, they've both taken the Joker buoy,
yes,
I do believe.
They have, absolutely.
It's, and nobody else is getting close. I believe, I'm going to have to take a look, I believe that is Jessica Burtka in the 3rd position.
Yeah, Baldwin had gone wide around that left-hander before the front straightaway and cost about a bowl length or two, and Webster closed the gap right then and there, so he cut that one tighter. And Webster continues to make some very tight corners right now on that Commander Industries blaster.
Yeah, he only had one bobble, and it was that spin out there, but boy, since then he's been on point. Every corner, every position, he's jumping in and out of the pump wash, staying in the clear water, trying to get as much acceleration as he can. And there's no question there's a little bit more top speed in that HX down the back straight.
Yeah, Caden's father, Steve, told me on Friday that Caden is really getting good on this blaster, and he's been racing on the West Coast this year. They've done all the races as well as one in Texas on their way here to Florida. And Caden absolutely laying waste to the rest of the novice sports stock class here in Moto number 2.
And, just to point out, these two are in separate classes once again.
Yes, they are.
So.
Caden Baldwin in the youth class, but boy, he is out in front of the whole affair here. Moto number 2, novice sport.
Well, he is the youngest rider on the track now by a couple of years. Caden being 15, second youngest rider. Then we've got 40, 25, 23, 16.
And in second place, that is Jessica Burtka behind Caden Webster.
Just celebrated the 20th anniversary of her 20th birthday.
And then 420 in third place is David Hancock. Nonetheless, Caden Baldwin still out in front. Webster closing that gap ever so slightly here on the last lap. Really starting to put the heat on young Caden Baldwin. And Baldwin swings wide, and Webster swings even wider.
He was going to try and cut in, I think, and Caden made the corner a little early, and, he did the right thing, didn't go up on his tray.
Well, Caden's making the right-handers much tighter than he is the left-handers from what I've seen so far.
You're going to have to say which Caden here, because you said Caden's dad.
That's right,
Caden
Baldwin.
Brian instead of Steve, right?
Caden Baldwin he cut that left-hander real tight. So this left-hander before the final left-hander before the front straightaway, he is going wide on and coming in a little hot on that one. Probably needs to tighten that up just a little bit if he can.
Well, you know the theory, right? Keep the speed up with the wider turn and carry it all the way down the front straightaway. The problem with that is you also open the door for whoever's right there with you.
Well, this right-hander is where you want to really keep the flow going and the momentum going so you get a good drive onto that front straightaway and get to top speed very quickly.
Oh, look at Webster.
What a battle.
Boy, he gained a couple of boat lengths right in that corner. Caden
takes
Baldwin
a look over
and puts his hand in the air. He's got the win.
Checkered flag comes out, and that's going to do it. Caden Baldwin taking the win in sports stock, junior sports stock, and then Webster taking the win here, moto number 2, novice sports stock.
Jessica Bertka, couple more buoys, and she'll have second in novice sports stock. And on the line is Women's Ski Limited, Veteran Ski GP, and Ski Superstock. Apparently none of those people came to the races today because nobody's on the line.
So I guess we're not having this class. All right, race 7 on the starting line. Women's Ski Limited, Nikki Turner on the number 712 Kawasaki.
Veteran Ski GP on the number 3 Yamaha to Fuquay Varina, North Carolina, Ralph McGregor, 57 years young.
Number 51, David Cabrera on the Commander GP1.
Brian Unger from Morriston, Florida, Yamaha mounted.
Number 253 on the Yamaha, Marshall Brown.
Jeb Zarzauer on the Commander K1 702.
And in Ski Superstock 55 on the Kawasaki, Jeff Lutker. And this will be moto number 2 for these 3 classes. And yesterday it was Jeb Zarzauer taking the win in Veteran Ski GP, followed by Marshall Brown and Ralph McGregor, and that was a heck of a battle they had out there in that first Veteran Ski GP. They traded the lead probably about 50 times over the course of that moto.
I know. I don't think we'll get that here with David Cabrera getting a whole shot on that exceptionally fast Cabrera Motorsports machine.
Yeah, David has been working on, he's got his own Cabrera Motorsports company.
Go through the band.
Jeb Zarzauer a little bit late to the starting line. Wow. That's not how you do it.
No, not at all.
That's not how you do it. So, Cabrera out in front, as I was saying before we were so rudely interrupted by Jeb Zarzauer's late entry. Ridiculous.
I don't think he meant it personally for you, Rick, but I can understand why you take it that way.
Anyway, yeah, Cabrera has got his own company and has been developing these stand-ups that he's been racing himself for a number of years, both the Commander GP1s and the Kawasaki SXR 1500s. And he's got these stand-ups really sorted out as a great source of knowledge, parts, and accessories for these stand-up boats. David Cabrera, a longtime racer, just a phenomenal athlete, and he is out in front right now on that number 51 Cabrera Motorsports Commander GP1.
Yeah, and Cabrera supports a ton of riders in South Florida.
253 on that SXR 1500. That's Marshall Brown out of Christchurch, New Zealand. Marshall, 63 years old, absolutely a stud out here. Yesterday he was absolutely phenomenal to watch race. Got a second overall, and man, what a talented rider.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Boy, Cabrera just, man, running away with us at this point. And that's the difference between yesterday and today. All that horsepower in the rough water, not much of an advantage, sometimes a disadvantage. And that long hull of the SXR 1500 that Marshall Brown was on yesterday helped him out a lot. Jeb Zarzauer, well, he won yesterday, but he's about 5 laps down right now today.
Yep, he is. Cabrera out in front, 51 down the front straightaway. David riding a brilliant moto number 2 here this morning. A talented 55 now. Cabrera, 55 years old, out of Miramar. And this guy is fit as a fiddle and absolutely rocketing around this racetrack here in Panama City Beach on that equally brilliant Commander GP1. David had a couple problems yesterday, finished 4th in moto number 1, but boy, here today, no such problem as he is out in front and leading this moto number 2. Here comes Cabrera one more time down the front straightaway with a commanding lead over second place.
We could use that a lot, couldn't we?
Oh, gosh.
On any ski class or any modified
pretty
ski
much,
class.
yeah. Marshall Brown coming around on that big SXR 1500.
They're getting the...
Boy, I saw a picture after watching the races yesterday. I was on Facebook last night looking at some stuff, and I saw a picture of a rider on a 550 racing yesterday in the West Coast. Andrew, actually a really fast rider on an amazing 550, Andrew Cesari, who I met recently, and his 550 is it's about a... Harry Gocher was telling me we were hanging out down in Mission Bay, and Gocher told me it's about a $45,000 550.
Wow.
And it's just a work of art. But
it must be.
I saw a picture of it, and after watching the races yesterday, that 550 just looked tiny.
Yeah.
Just looked tiny.
They're minute, aren't they, really?
Boy, the sport has changed so much. Checkered flag comes out for Cabrera with a great win here in Moto number 2. David Cabrera taking the win. And, yeah, the 550 just looked tiny.
In second, Ralph McGregor right there.
Well, Ralph coming around still. McGregor making his final turn onto the front straightaway on that SXR 1500. Boy, this guy can ride. What a talented rider out of New Zealand. Ralph McGregor.
That's Marshall Brown on the 253.
I'm sorry, am I wrong? Marshall Brown, second place, 253. Yeah, he took
McGregor.
second. McGregor. It was Marshall Brown taking second, I believe. Okay, here we go. Ski. 4-stroke stock. Ski 4-stroke stock Superjet in ski 4-stroke stock. 115 out of West Palm Beach, Florida. Connor Richuk in ski 4-stroke stock Superjet. Kurt, who we got on the starting line?
On the number 36 out of Naples, Florida, Stephen Hayden.
Number 46 is Lance Vincent.
On the 53, Gary Holbein Jr.
And 85, Dustin Higdon. And we're going to have a red flag. We're going to bring them back to the starting line and redo this one. Okay, you're right. Okay, we'd like to welcome Bomber Eyewear this year to the Pro Watercross National Tour. Great to have Tommy Bonacci and the Bomber Eyewear team as part of our team. Oh, we're all styled out this year, the entire crew, with Bomber Eyewear from the tower to the water. Everybody's got their bombers on, and everybody's seeing a lot better this year because of it, Kurt.
No question about it. And, you know, as much as I enjoy polarized lenses and a good style, the flotation is what makes these, it differentiates them from every other pair of sunglasses. You know what you never find on the bottom of the lake?
Bombers.
A set of bombers,
yeah,
right?
they float, and if you're a rider, if you're a jet skier, I mean, this is the go-to sunglasses. And they've been floating around since 1997,
yes,
so that's the go-to, man. Get some bombers. Go to bombereyewear.com.
You know the only kind of sunglasses you'll find in a jet ski pump? Bombers, because they float. The rest are on the bottom of the lake.
I know. I've got many on the bottom of bodies of water all over the place, and boy, I wish I would have had these.
Oh, here we go. Looks like Gary Holbein Jr. getting a good drive. Somebody on the outside of him.
Oh, somebody goes down. Oh, whoa.
Yes.
Two riders. One rider down with his hand up. Another rider barely missing him, hopefully. Again, I need to apologize. I had to give my binoculars up to the scoring tower so they could accurately score the race. More important, I guess.
Well, I'll tell
to
you
say
what.
the least. But we know most of the riders just takes a while till they come around.
Right. It won't be difficult in this one. No, that number. That orange and black, number 53, Gary Holbein Jr., looks over his shoulder. Yeah, Gary, you got about a half a front straightaway lead on the first lap over the number 20. I don't know what that is.
Boy, I tell you what, you think Gary Holbein Jr. can ride that Superjet?
All day long, every day. And he must be doing it the way he's riding now.
Yes, we apologize. We have the wrong paperwork for this race. This is actually junior ski stock, it looks like to me.
10 to 12, moto number 2.
Gary Holbein Jr. out in front and terrorizing the juniors as he did in moto number 1. So we're going to have to check on that. Karis Webster, it looks like coming by in second, but she is in front of the 10 to 12-year-old class. Apologize for that. We had a paperwork problem. So this is junior ski stock. Race number 8. Number 9 will be the 4-strokes. And again, Gary Holbein Jr. has just dominated. He's in the 13 to 15-year-old division. Karis Webster looking real strong again in the 10 to 12-year-old division. Karis, of course, a member of the Commander Kids team, and she is out in front. Junior 10 to 12 and 13 to 15-year-old ski riders on the course right now. Karis out there. Gary Holbein Jr. doing a great job. Karis Webster just lighting this thing up here this morning.
Well, they're sure spread out, Rick. Sorry about that. I was working on some paperwork issues, bringing them back in here. We'll be ready to go in the next race.
We'll keep an eye on our starter, Kevin Scott, who has got these riders tracked down and giving them the
finger.
Giving them the finger, letting them know what
lap. I don't know if it's a single finger or a double finger.
What lap it is?
It's an indicator in any case. Oh, going around making the makeup buoy. Two riders here. Is that Kevin Road, the 995? Gary Holbein Jr. on that number 53. And the mystery racer with unidentifiable numbers. Well, we're doing the best we can.
And 53, Gary Holbein Jr. absolutely dominates again here. Moto number 2 of junior ski stock 13 to 15. What a performance so far today by Gary Holbein Jr. Looking good out there, young lad.
He's looking great, and he's coming right back in because he's going out again. He's in the next race.
Well, he's only a lad.
A lad. A wee lad.
Oingo boingo, Kurt.
Yeah, you'd say.
You're clearly not an Oingo Boingo fan.
No.
Okay.
No. I don't detest them or anything, but I can't recite verses. No. And so Gary Holbein Jr. getting up, going into ski 4-stroke stock Superjet. He'll switch hulls. He's already on the line. Of course he is.
Endless abundant energy by the 13-year-old.
Got a rider down there getting attended to by Andrew Schaefer.
Gary out of Fairhope, Alabama.
Oh, Karis Webster down there coming off the back straightaway on the inside. She's getting pulled over to her boat. So just at the very end here, a lot of people stopping to take a water sample.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. They must have got thirsty out there.
Exactly. Well, you know. It's Floridian water.
They
It
got
tastes
hot.
great.
Got hot and dry.
Less filling. Tastes great. Speaking of filling, that water looks exceptionally good. And we do encourage everyone to hydrate today. Even though the temperatures are down, the wind's blowing, and it's sneaky how fast it'll sneak up on you. So definitely hydrate out there.
All right, now we go to the aforementioned Ski 4-stroke stock and Ski 4-stroke stock Superjet class. Ski 4-stroke stock, number 115 out of West Palm Beach. Connor Richuk. Ski 4-stroke stock Superjet. On the number 36 Superjet, Steve Hayden. Number 45, Lance Vincent. Gary Holbein Jr. will be on the number 53. And who won yesterday's first moto, by the way. Gary Holbein Jr. is just becoming an absolute force to be reckoned with here. And 85, Dustin Higdon. So it's going to be number 115, Connor Richuk, in that Ski 4-stroke stock class. He'll be on the SXR 1500 Kawasaki. All the rest will obviously be on Yamaha Superjet, since it's called the Superjet class.
Well, Connor Richuk had a great day yesterday. And let's see how it goes now.
Yeah, he beat everybody yesterday on that SXR 1500, which was not that much of a surprise considering it has about 50 horsepower advantage, I believe.
And he's making a move there, trying to sweep the outside.
But he doesn't get the hole shot here today.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I mean, he's got a couple more boys to go. First across the line's the hole shot, right? No, I'm at. Who's out front? Because they are really riding that Yamaha Superjet well.
That is looks like number 36, Steve Hayden. That got the hole shot on his Superjet here in front of Richuk on the SXR 1500. Hayden goes right to the Joker buoy. And Richuk goes on to the regular course, and that's going to cost him a significant amount of space behind the leader. Hayden.
Steve Hayden.
Down the back straightaway, Hayden. Now here goes Richuk. Now, these riders are in separate classes. However, they're racing each other. Make no mistake about it.
Well, it's unfortunate Gary Holbein Jr. went down over to the far left-hand side of the track. He's up and on the back straightaway now. He's got the whole race to catch up, Rick. Boy, look at the battle between Richuk and Hayden.
Yeah,
Stephen
Richuk.
Hayden on that Superjet is not going to let him by. And Connor Richuk doing everything he can, inside, outside. What a beautiful turn onto the front straightaway by Richuk. That was phenomenal.
Well, you can see that top end right there with Richuk as he really pulled Hayden on the top end. When they got about halfway down that front straightaway, Richuk's acceleration continued, and he closed the gap, and he'll take the lead now by using that Joker buoy and get way out in front of Hayden now, and I'm thinking it's going to be a difficult task for Hayden to get back by him, although Hayden doesn't really need to. I'm sure he'd like to.
Right.
But Hayden now in front, still in front of the Ski 4-stroke stock Superjet class.
Well, it's kind of interesting in that class because Gary Holbein Jr. won Moto number 1. Hayden came in third. Higdon was second and Vincent fourth. So that's mixed it up a little bit here in Moto number 2. Got a few laps to go. We'll see. That'll set up for an interesting Moto number 3.
Yeah, really disappointing to me in this sport that there aren't standards so that Yamaha and Kawasaki come out with new 4-stroke stand-ups, and they're in two different classes because they're just not remotely the same in terms of performance, and it's ridiculous in my book. But
yeah, well, it's two different engineering attitudes, right? One's the longer, heavier hull. The other one's they're trying to make up for that for lightweight.
And, of course, you don't see that in motocross, which we compare this to most often. There's standards for bikes, and they compete against each other, so everybody's on the, somewhat equal equipment on the starting line. These days, very equal equipment for the most part. But in our sport, they come out with completely different watercraft, so you have to add one more class.
We don't have anybody on the line. IROC GP should be down there for their third moto. Come on, guys, make it happen. That's Gary Holbein Jr. This has not been a great class for him today. He's been off that thing more than he's been on it.
And he won yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
In unbelievably challenging conditions. Here today, it's flattened out, smooth, and he's having a tough time. But
we talked about that, though, Rick, and sometimes when you go from those kind of conditions where you're hyper concentrated, you're hyper focused, and now in this flat water, you're not, it's easier, so you're looking further ahead, and I think, maybe you're just missing stuff.
Could be, it's a completely different mindset, this type of racing on flatter water. Yesterday was really survival of the fittest. And literally, I was talking with Jules Hopkins this morning, and he was telling me that he actually thought that last year, the second day and Sunday in St. Augustine was easier than yesterday was here. Even though the waves were bigger, he said the waves were bigger last year in Augustine, but
definitely.
Here yesterday they were big, but not so much. You still had to go fast.
Yeah.
So there was a speed factor yesterday. You had to be on it.
Right. St. Augustine, it was just survival.
It was just dealing with huge swells.
Yeah.
And yesterday you had to deal with big swells, wind chop, but you also had to be blistering fast because the pace was incredible.
Rick, I got a huge smile on my face. Gary Holbein Jr. is reeling in the rider in front of him yet again. This kid's got no give to him, and he just came off another moto. Does he ever get tired?
No, he's a racer, and it's never say die. This guy charges from the gate drop to the checkered flag every moto.
Dustin Higdon comes by. Now, he was second in that moto. I think he's back in third here. We'll wait for Scorn to completely figure it out.
So the big Kawasaki SXR 1500 of Connor Ritchuk coming around, and that is one fast machine that Kawasaki came out with.
Yeah.
When they came out with this new four-stroke stand-up, and that is a powerful boat. He'll take the checkered flag. Ritchuk.
Well, he's dominant in ski four-stroke stock. He can finish anywhere and still win the class later on today.
There is that.
Yeah. And there's Gary Holbein Jr. coming across. Dustin Higdon. Yes, you are. Well, all right, we're moving on. Changing hulls. IROC GP. Nena Coronado on that Yamaha EXR. She's won the first two motos. She'd be the favorite here on the 22, John Block. And on the 59, Caden Baldwin. Who's it going to be? All right. Moto number 3, race number 10, multiple IROCs. Everybody's got a class. Our starter, Kevin Scott, says, roll them, let's go. And there they go. Baldwin getting a drive. There goes Nena on the outside on an EXR, but Baldwin's got inside position, and Baldwin going to hold it. Oh, Nina going to have some trouble here. She's going to try and sweep. I don't think she'll get Caden yet, but Caden Baldwin out front. He was fast off the line, Rick. And look at this. Nina Coronado's finally got some, she's got some water to go through.
Yeah, good, great racing now with Baldwin out in front on that stock EX, the EXR.
Yeah, Coronado now.
Coronado, boy, she's got a powerful machine there.
Well, let's see what happens as they go around. They both take the Joker boy. Couldn't quite keep her speed up, so it's not going to be an advantage there. John Block taking the inside. He'll use that Joker buoy a little later in the race. Caden Baldwin, wow. He's
Oh,
putting
he
the
is.
pedal metal here.
He is riding today. He is on the gas this morning. He's been flying out on this racetrack. He definitely has gotten significantly faster over the winter time, and he is charging out there. And Netta Coronado, we've never seen her before. She showed up last weekend in Avon Park, Sebring, and really looked good. It was a joy to watch her race on that EXR. And I'm just interested to see if we start seeing more of the EXR start showing up for racing. Seems like a very good race boat.
I can't imagine that John Block is going to go an entire season without getting an EXR if you can find one, Rick, and that may be the problem.
Absolutely, that very well could be the problem with the issues everyone's been having getting equipment over the last couple of years. Coronado keeping the pressure on. Baldwin and Coronado having a great race. Of course, Coronado on that EXR, which is significantly more powerful and faster and better hookup, I believe, than that stock EX. But
wow.
Baldwin looks behind him, and here comes Coronado as Caden takes a look over his shoulder and sees Nena's face right behind him.
Yeah, Netta almost had that. She was just half a boat length away at coming onto the front straightaway from making that pass on Baldwin. But let's see what Caden does down the back straightaway. And what does Coronado do? Can she get out in some
Well, she stays
clear water?
outside of him on the outside,
Yeah.
what it looks like she's doing. That's going to help her close that gap. But Caden, he's not giving up anything to Coronado this moto.
Well, he's riding defensive. You can see it. He's hitting the inner part of the buoy so nobody can go underneath him and cutting tight. It's a little slower, but it's a great defensive position. And you're right, Rick, except for that corner. Seems like everybody's bypassing that. It must be part of the course there.
Caden happens to swing wide on that left-hander.
And I'm impressed that all three of these riders are on the same straightaway. You know, I think that EXR, when it's out front, can really stretch its legs. But, there it goes. And John Block moves over on Coronado. They're going to be side by side. And Coronado denies him. Block cuts to the inside. These two are going down the back straightaway. Who's going to take it over from Caden Baldwin? Nobody. So
Caden's not giving an inch, I'll tell you right now. Swings wide again on that left-hander. Coronado dives down and picks up a little bit of boat length, but not a whole lot. Real wide swing that time again by Caden, and not Coronado again a little tighter. Block very much tighter.
And you can see Block. He all his distance he's gaining is in this section where he's tight to the buoys and accelerates away.
It really is.
Those two were doing it.
It's really interesting to watch out here today. You can really see the differences in the riding styles, and particularly where they're taking the corners at and what the outcome is of each turn.
And the experience. You've got John Block, 60 years old, been doing this for a while, and he's taking every advantage he can on this tighter part of the course.
Well, Coronado not giving up at all, still trying to track down Caden Baldwin. What a great race here this morning in IROC. Of course, Coronado on a GP IROC, meaning she's basically on the EXR, which puts it into the GP class. Baldwin and Block on stock Yamaha EXs.
Coronado goes wide, and there goes Block. Hey, we need junior skis stock 10 to 12 and 13-15 to the line, guys. Let's go. Caden Baldwin continuing the lead. Here we go. Caden Baldwin leading the laps, running down here. Baldwin has Anna Coronado, Nena right there behind him as she's been the entire race. And that lead stretches to 4 or 5 boat lengths and shrinks to 2 or 3 depending on where they are in the course. And Caden Baldwin will take the win. Coronado will take the win in her class. And John Block, well, he's going to come across first in his class.
Yes, he is.
We ought to call this the winter race, huh? All right, junior ski stock, 10-12 on the 139 out of Atlanta, Georgia's Abby Weldon.
Number 210 out of Phoenix, Karis Webster.
And the 529 out of Jacksonville, Florida, Kylie Meyer.
In junior ski stock, 13-50, number 22, Caden Schilling.
On the 53 out of Fairhope, Alabama, Carson Loader.
Out of Naples, number 69, Justin Oster.
On the 531 out of Fairhope, Alabama, Gary Holbein Jr.
He's out there again?
It's back to back to back for Gary.
995 out of Ottawa, Tennessee, Jax Rowe.
I love the way you say that town. You notice I'm not saying it at all.
Well, I had to. I had to take a shot. Okay, juniors on the line.
What they waiting for? Oh, waiting for the rough water to go down. Oh, Holbein Jr. dead last off the line.
Man.
That's going to make this interesting.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, he's already passed 3, I'd say, if he can stay on the inside. Let's see what happens. Yep. So, and here he goes. Look for that wide outside pass by Gary Holbein Jr. He loves that coming off the back straightaway.
Yeah, he really makes good use of that. And look he's in 3rd place right now. 4th place, I'm sorry. Up to 4th. And now 3rd.
Yep. Is that Karis down in there?
It looks like it.
Having an issue trying to get that thing going. And Jax Rowe out in front.
Jax Rowe looking good. 995, our race leader down the front straightaway. Jax Rowe, and then 3 riders bunched up. It looks like 22 in second, Caden Schilling, and then Gary Holbein Jr., and then 139, Abby Weldon.
Justin Oster goes by. There's Karis Webster.
Looks like she's might be having some ski problems there.
Yeah, that thing stopped twice on her already and doesn't look very confident going down the straightaway with it. We'll see.
She's going to go out and take the Joker buoy. Still down low. Not sure what's going on. It's an interesting style that she has right now. Down into the tray. And it looks like she's experiencing some motor problems.
Yep. Gary Holbein Jr. moved up into 2nd place now. Jax Rowe with the lead. Look out, Jax. Gary Holbein Jr. And he must be really warmed up by now.
And Karis kind of stopped down there. Yeah, Gary's warmed up. I would think it's safe to say as he puts the pressure on.
There it goes. Holbein puts the pressure on him and makes the move into the lead. Here comes Rowe.
Rowe had to go around that 995. Rowe had to go around the makeup buoy as he felt he missed a buoy out on the track.
Schilling in 2nd, Rowe in 3rd.
Well, I think it's safe to say Gary Holbein Jr. is going to be one exhausted human being at the end of the racing today.
Can we wait to see him on a GP1 Commander?
Oh, man.
I can't.
Oh,
I'm like,
boy.
let's go.
Well, he's 13, so...
and Karis Webster, sorry, dead in the water again.
Yeah, she's been down on that back straightaway now for a little while.
A couple times, yeah.
So she's going to put her dad back to work?
Yeah, Steve was on a vacation until now, huh?
Yeah, well, not entirely.
No, not really. Not.
Now with three kids all racing, multiple classes.
That's the easiest thing in the world.
And, of course, he's responsible for tuning all the boats.
Jax Rowe taking that makeup away. Well, that's Gary Holbein Jr. One lap, and he's already got more than the front straightaway. Boy, once he's out in front, he is good gone.
It's amazing how much faster he is, isn't it? You know, because Rowe looks fast. He's doing good. I mean, you know, all the other riders are good. They're looking good, but Gary Holbein, just everywhere he's picking up a little bit, everywhere on the track.
Yeah, and you know, he started at 10, right? He was one of the kids that got to start at 10. And just goes to show that was a good decision.
Abby Weldon getting cheered on by her father down there.
Oh, yeah. She's making moves.
12-year-old out of Atlanta, Georgia. Boat number 139. And she is looking good here in Moto number 2.
Yes, she is. Our leader's coming back around.
Well, I tell you what, Gary Holbein's likely to lap the field here.
Well, he's certainly in a position to do it, but, you know, if I'm him, I back off and just let it go. He's been doing a lot of laps, and he's got Moto 3s and some other classes. So
I'm not really sure he knows how to do that.
I think he's doing it now. He's stretching his back out a little bit. Yeah, he knows how he's stretching his back. He's not in an attack position. He knows where he's at.
I don't know.
I mean, the good racers, right, race
He's
fast
charging
enough to come across the line first, but you don't have to dominate.
Well, he's got two riders in front of him, so let's see what happens. Of course, he's going to probably get the checkered flag this lap, I would think. We'll see. We're not using a white flag this weekend because of the conditions, and our course marshal, Kevin Scott, flagging from the water this weekend.
Scott stays out there, and when it's time, gives him a finger designation. I think that's 2 laps
and
to
here
go.
comes Holbein charging again around a rider. Going to displace that rider and take the checkered flag. So, yeah, he charged till the end, I think, Kurt.
And started dead last off the start.
Can you imagine?
Absolutely last.
What a race. Gary Holbein Jr., put your hands together for that young man. What a performance today.
All right.
Abby Weldon comes by, 139. She'll finish strong in Moto number 2.
Oh, she's getting better and better every time out, Rick.
On the line, begin a runabout box stock, Moto number 3.
On the 441, out of Panama City, Florida, hometown, Jason Elliott.
And 757 out of Pensacola, Brandon Morris.
This is Moto number 3. We'll crown a champion here.
It's good to have FindItNowGPS.com aboard this year on the Pro Watercross Tour. FindItNowGPS.com. Really cool technology. You want to keep track of all your valuable equipment and toys, whether it's boats, watercraft, motorcycles, cars, trailers, just about anything you can imagine. Find It Now GPS. You will be able to track it. If it would unfortunately get stolen, this will show you where it's at, and you can find it and track them down and retrieve your property. Go to FindItNowGPS.com for more information. Jet Trim, bitchin' stitchin'. Been around forever making custom mats, custom seat covers for your personal watercraft. Amazing work they do out of Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Been out there 30 plus years, and heck, you won't find many riders who have raced for any length of time that haven't been supported by Jet Trim. So check them out, jettrim.com, and you can dial in your seat covers, mats, very customization, a lot of customization available, and make your ski look really good, plus give you some really, really good traction. Jet Trim. All right, here we go. Moto number 3, the final moto for beginner runabout box stock. 2 riders in this one. And it's been Jason Elliott taking the first 2 motos. Of course, he's on a, I guess we could call it a vintage Kawasaki Ultra down there. Brandon Morris on the 4-stroke Yamaha. The Ultra that Elliott is on is a Kawasaki 2-stroke. I believe an 1100. Looks nothing like the original Kawasaki Ultra with that paint job he's got. Unless you knew what that hull and top deck design looked like, you wouldn't probably know what it was. I think it does say Ultra on it, though. But
well, Jason Elliott getting the Ultra hole shot there.
Man, that
off
thing's
the line at least.
Pretty darn fast, isn't it?
It really is.
A lot lighter than that 4-stroke Yamaha, that's for sure.
And it's so funny he's out there, and Christian Morris showed up on his Ultra last year at
exactly
at St. Augustine.
I'd say a Kawasaki's probably a couple hundred pounds lighter than that Yamaha 4-stroke.
You know, I do think you're correct, sir.
Roughly, give or take.
And let's face it, that orange hood makes it just that much faster.
Well, there's no question that's the key here. Oh, okay. The old versus the new, and the old one is winning in this case. We don't see a lot of that in runabout racing these days. You know, it's usually the modern 4-stroke runabouts that dominate, but every once in a while you'll see an older 2-stroke get in here and look good.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jason Elliott, 42 years old and missing the course here. Oh, okay, we had a buoy come loose.
Yeah, we got a buoy that's headed for Cuba.
Actually, I think it's coming to shore.
Headed for us.
Oh, is that the one out there?
That's what I'm thinking. Is that our buoy out there?
Yes.
So we got a little mid-course correction here, mid-moto.
Jason Elliott with the lead.
Amazing the The buoy survived yesterday the entire day, and here today with calm conditions, it comes loose. I'm scratching my head on that one a little bit.
It's a little, yeah.
It took it.
Bizarro.
I think the toll was taken on the buoy, the rope, and the blocks yesterday, some way, shape, or form.
Well, obviously they're being nibbled on by sharks and snapping turtles.
Well, that could be
Obviously.
it. Obviously.
What else could it be?
We'll leave that to the imagination.
As well we should. Up on the line, you see him lining up now. Sport GP and Sport Open, Moto number 3 to the line.
We never know what lurks under
In the hearts of men.
the sea.
The shadow knows. That's even before your time, isn't it?
A little bit.
It's before mine. Good knowledge.
Well, conditions like this, the riders are way more apt to hit a buoy, for one thing.
Oh, absolutely, because they want to try and get as close, because
Yep.
an inch closer to the buoy is going to make you faster.
That's right.
It's that's a hard lesson to learn when you first start racing. I think everybody bounces off the buoys. They think, oh, it's so important to get close. And the reality is it's more important to connect a series of buoys in a line that allows you to keep the highest speed up.
And your momentum.
Exactly.
You don't want to scrub off any speed. Scrub off the least amount of speed as possible in making those turns. And so, yeah, it's a fine line. You know, it's a fine line on doing that just right. And like you said, connecting a series of turns together, that is really the key.
It really is, because, you know, in some sections of the course, in many courses, the first buoy, the attitude or the angle of attack that you use on that first buoy determines how you come out of the third or fourth buoy just based on the course.
Absolutely.
Boy, Brandon Morris, he's getting back on that boat. It's like, this should be faster.
I know it. I'm feeling what he's feeling.
Is that dude's on a 1940s ski? Why am I not beating him?
Oh, that I've got a feeling that Kawasaki Ultra's got a few modifications.
Possibly. Oh, no, that's impossible. It's box stock.
Yeah, I don't know how that. We rarely have an older two-stroke runabout compete in this class, so I am not up to speed, to be honest, on the modifications allowed on these older two-strokes, if any, how many, what they can do, you know, to even them up with the modern super. I mean, supercharged four-strokes are allowed in this class.
Right.
That are putting out, well, in the Kawasaki's case, which we rarely see anymore, 310 horsepower.
Right.
The Sea-Doo and Yamaha's put out a little less than that in stock form, but once they do the ECU modifications, that changes everything.
Which are there for are available in runabout box stock.
They're allowed, yes.
Yes. Race 13, Sport GP is on the line. A couple of veteran riders there. Don't want to miss their race.
No, this
It's
is going to be a good one.
A lot less stressful when you're there on time, you know. Makes the whole day go easier if you get to the line on time or a little early.
Well, I tell you, when I race, it's that's the number one thing. I'm on it, man, paying attention. I'm there to race, and I can't imagine not being in the line on time.
Let's go, Brandon. Got to get back on that thing. We need the whole crowd to help us. Let's go.
Let's go,
Mr.
Brandon.
Morris. Let's go, Mr. Morris. Or Brandon's easier.
You like that? You like the let's go, Brandon.
There's a little bit of I'd be lying if I said not. Looks like he's okay. They're putting him back on he's getting back on the boat, not on the board, so that's a good sign.
That's
Meanwhile,
a very good sign.
Jason Elliott.
He's going to put Mr. Morris a lap down here.
At least. On that box stock Kawasaki.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I was talking with our race director a minute ago, who is a technical director throughout the world, and there are modifications allowed, but we it's, I don't know.
Well, they must have done all of them.
We don't see, yeah.
Every single one that could be done, it must be done.
Because we rarely see them, so you're really not up exactly on what they can do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well,
he's done them all.
It's been a few years, really.
I like your comment, Kurt. He's done them all.
Yeah, he has. And he takes the checkered flag. Jason Elliott, third moto in a row. That's 3 moto wins. In second, Brandon Morris.
Sport GP, Sport Open on the starting line, or Sport GP, I should say, 85, out of Biloxi, Mississippi, on the Huracan R, Gary Hopkins.
Gary Hopkins, sponsored by his own Performance Jet Ski and Cycle. I say that only because I missed it the first time. And on the 111, Billy Dearman out of Pensacola. As always, sponsored by Judge Motorsports Jet Pilot and Jet Trim. Oh, Billy got a good drive.
Yeah, winner take all in this one.
Huracan R on the inside got some position and starting to pull away. Oh, Billy Dearman going to have to get on the gas if he's going to get by Gary Hopkins. Here they come.
Kurt, that Huracan R has got some horsepower. Gary Hopkins has been doing some serious tuning on that boat. Let me tell you, he is flying out there, because I know Dearman has been likewise working on that Billy Blaster for a few years and dialing in that Kawasaki 1500 motor that it has.
Yeah.
But wow.
I think Gary put in some new spark plugs after that last moto, because this thing is ripping.
Flying. And this is a winner take all third moto. They both have a win. Both have a second place in the first 2 motos. So whoever wins this moto takes the overall for the weekend.
You know what I'm questioning right now? Is, in my mind, Billy Dearman should have taken that Joker boy, because I think it's going to be the only opportunity he has all race to get close to him.
Yeah, or maybe in front at that point in time. You never know. But
exactly.
You're right.
Now.
I think you're right. It's going to be it's going to be tough unless Gary makes a mistake. Of
exactly.
Course. That's why they race to the end, and these two are going to race right to the checkered flag, because there is not that much distance between them, and they are both on the gas.
Right. Well, in these challenging conditions, I mean the lake. Oh,
Gary going to the Joker. Billy not going to take the Joker. Interesting. So that's going to allow Gary to get way out in front. Some really clean water now, and that Huracan R is just going to rocket down that back straightaway with Hopkins. Look at the back. Most of that hull is out of the water at speed on both of these boats. I mean, the only thing in the water is the ride plate and the scoop grade, it looks like to me.
And that thing lifts instantly. I'm talking about the Huracan R. Every time, you can just see it, any little throttle change, and there's an attitude adjustment in the boat.
There's not a lot of hull in that water.
No, sir. Not until he dips it in the corner. Wonder if they've got drop nozzles on that. I'm sure he does. The way, at least on Gary's, the way you can cut tight at speed.
I would think so.
I think so as well. You force the nose of the boat into the water, make the turn, and as soon as the acceleration starts, it lifts out, gets way back, and like you said, the only thing there is the intake grate and the pump in the water.
Yeah, that ride on that ride plate, really. And it's a GP boat, so why not have it equipped with that drop nozzle?
Oh, no, Rick. Yes. We've got race 14, amateur ski stock coming up. We've got about 12 competitors and nobody on the line.
That's a problem.
Only for those that don't show up, guys.
Hopkins down the front straightaway one more time. That number 85 Huracan. Oh, Billy Dearman spins out. And that is an issue that he has had over the years with that Billy Blaster. We've seen him have perhaps some handling issues, and actually he's gotten tossed off of that boat a time or two we've seen.
Yes, he has. And you know, I'm glad you said that, Rick, because I was going to mention it earlier. Something else came up. We've watched the progress of Billy Dearman on that.
Yeah.
In years past, he has gone down multiple times in every moto.
And not just gone down, launched.
Spectacularly.
Just ragdolled.
Right. I mean, we should have paid him for some of those.
Catapulted.
Yes.
Off of that boat.
Yeah.
And not having that kind of problem so far. Did spin out right here the last lap in front of us coming onto the front straightaway. Just trying so hard to get a good drive to try to catch Hopkins.
Yeah. And unfortunately, he's doing it in that aerated water. But look how beautifully he cuts in on that buoy. That's not because he was going slow. It's just that development work is working out for him.
Yep, and Gary Hopkins really, really has fine control over that Huracan R. And man, he is really talented on that boat. He looks good on it, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
He has not made a
really
mistake all day.
I really like that we've got the Huracan R out here. There's not that many of them that have been produced. And Gary, right on the ground floor and putting a power plant in that thing that works and working on it with his son, Jules.
Well, he is used to that. He built that that Kawasaki SXR 1500 powered engine into that HX Sea-Doo that Jules campaigned very successfully.
Yep.
That was a rocket ship. And that kind of engineering is fun to watch.
And this is interesting. Billy goes
now
out
he's
there.
using
He's got
it.
some speed.
Here comes Dearman.
Yep.
Oh, he saved that Joker buoy to the end and came within 2 bolt lengths of Hopkins.
Might as well have been a mile.
Oh, my goodness. But that was great strategy that time.
Absolutely.
It was fun to watch.
Well, I think he was just waiting back there till Gary was kind of lulled into, okay, I'll just lead this thing, and then forgetting about it. Wow, less than a minute, huh?
57-second lap times these guys are turning out here. They are flying. Here comes Hopkins. Now Dearman only about 5 bolt lengths behind him as they come down the front straightaway. We got a race going on now as Dearman used that Joker buoy, closed the gap, and he's putting the pressure on Hopkins here late in this third and final moto. This is going to decide the overall for the weekend in Sport GP.
No question about it. We talked about this in the prior moto of this race, Rick. Once again, Gary Hopkins, as a mechanic, working hard every day. Billy Dearman out there building homes. I'm thinking it's all about the number of laps you put out there, and I think Dearman has gotten a ton of laps on that boat, and he's comfortable riding it.
From what I've seen so far, they both are really comfortable on those boats. They're very talented. But what I've seen so far is that Huracan R just has just a little more speed overall than Dearman's boat.
Yeah, it's violent out of the corners too, Rick.
It accelerates so hard out of those corners. It is really bitching to watch out there. I'm digging this.
But the one thing that does is it's tiring out Gary Hopkins. You can see it now later in the race. His elbows are starting to drop. That's always an indicator of a rider getting tired. And nothing wrong with getting tired. You're putting out tons of effort out there on high horsepower machines at well over 60 miles an hour down that front straightaway. And it can be a little tiring. This is Billy Dearman's opportunity now, this next lap or two. He's got to push really hard on Gary Hopkins to make a mistake.
Well, that's exactly what's going to happen is Hopkins, who has not made a mistake the entire day, is going to have to swing wide, make a mistake on one of these corners to allow Dearman to try to dive underneath. But thus far, that's not happening, and that's not going to happen today as Hopkins takes the checkered flag and the win here in Sport GP, and that'll give him the overall for the weekend.
Unofficially, Billy Dearman in second, and Dearman will go ahead and win the Sport Open. Online now, amateur ski stock on the number 17 out of Rutherford, North Carolina. He's 42 years old and has a completely rebuilt left knee now, Brad Hill.
Number 22 out of Beaufort, Georgia on the Kawasaki, Kirsten Frost.
On the 36 out of Naples, Florida, Jax Hayden.
Number 53 out of Fairhope, Alabama. He's back on the Yamaha, Gary Holbein Jr.
On the double 5 out of Freeport, Florida, Jeff Lutker.
Number 66 out of Providence Village, Texas, Seth Pettit.
69, Justin Oster.
Number 85, Dustin Higdon.
210, Karis Webster.
220, Ryan Stevens.
The 913, Charlie McGuinn.
And 995 out of Ottawa, Tennessee on the Yamaha, Kevin Rowe. Here we go.
Rowe gets a hole shot off the line, but gets bounced around. He's got position. Other rider look like Karis Webster starting to sweep on the outside. She got a good drive as well. So it is Rowe. That'll be Webster back in fourth, at least right now. I believe that's Dustin Higdon battling for second position. Rowe with a lead. Is that Kirsten Frost on the double 2? I do believe it is in that second spot. Yes, it is.
995, Kevin Rowe, our race leader down the front straightaway with a sizable lead already over number 22, Frost.
I think that's Justin Oster on that black number 69 boat there, taking the Joker buoy. Will be easier to see his number if he's out in front. And Karis Webster also takes the Joker buoy, and that's going to move her up into third position. Obviously, I got that boat fixed because Karis is riding the wheels off it right now. And Rowe's got some company up there. Kirsten Frost pushing hard.
Great race for the lead right now here. In race moto number 2, amateur ski stock. Kevin Rowe maintaining the lead. Looks like, is that Jax Hayden in second? Yes, it is. Jax Hayden
36.
in second behind Kevin Rowe.
Hayden family, get some bigger numbers, would you?
And then it looks like, not sure.
So Karis Webster in third.
Is that Karis in third?
Yeah, Kirsten Frost in fourth. And Frost taking the Joker buoy now. Your leaders are out there, but Frost and Webster may get together here. Let's see. Nope, Webster's got enough. So your top 4 starting to spread out a little bit. Kevin Rowe really pushing hard.
He's looking good out in front. Rowe, 44 years old, out of Ottawa, Tennessee, and Ottawa, Tennessee, riding for the Chattanooga Jet Ski Club. And he is doing them proud here today. He had a first in moto number 1. Now he is leading again here. Moto number 2, our race leader. 995 making the turn, heading down the front straightaway. Kevin Rowe. Jax Hayden in second on the number 36 Superjet. And then it looks like Karis Webster in third on the number 210 Commander Yamaha.
Jeff, get her done. Can we see Jeff up here at the Tower of Power, please?
Race leader again down the front straightaway. Kevin Rowe out in front. Jax Hayden right behind him in second. Karis Webster in third. Looks like 66. Jeff Lutker in fourth. 22, Frost in 5th. And 53, here he comes again, Gary Holbein Jr. in 6th, charging up through the field.
Never laying down. We got a rider taking that joker buoy. Frost. Oh, Frost. Holbein tries to go underneath Frost. Can't quite do it. Almost bumps Frost off and goes down.
Holbein gets the worst of that exchange.
Well, he's excited. He's pushing it as hard as he possibly could.
One more time down the front straightaway. Our race leader, man, he is starting to stretch it out just a little bit now. Kevin Rowe, Jax Hayden in 2nd. Webster in 3rd. '22, Kirsten Frost in 4th. Looks like 66.
Seth Pettit?
Seth Pettit. No, he's down now. Holbein in 5th.
Oh, and you almost called it out. Pettit doing everything he can to stay on the ski there. It was almost completely out.
Yes, he was. This is the 2nd moto for amateur ski stock. They'll have one more today. Here he comes again one more time. Rowe out in front, down the front straightaway. Jax Hayden now starting to close the gap ever so slightly on Rowe.
Rider down over there. That's going to slow these. Oh, he's getting
Harris
back
Webster
up.
charging in 3rd. She is on the gas.
She is. She's moving up. And
Yeah,
that
she is.
rider that went down kind of slowed the top 3. That might help out Webster here.
Yeah, Harris on the gas, and then 22, Kirsten Frost in 4th behind Webster. Great day of racing here. Round number 2. LIQUI-MOLY Pro Watercross National Tour powered by HydroTurf. Good to see everybody here. Hope everybody is enjoying the racing action across the world on the live stream. Brought to you by our live stream boss, Maverick. Livestream247.com. Indeed.
Here comes your leader, lapping into the field. Oh, move over, Rover. Kevin Rowe's coming over.
He's on the gas.
Yes, he is.
Jax Hayden likewise trying to keep pace with Rowe as they go by some lap traffic, and Karis Webster in 3rd now.
I got to say, great sportsmanship by Ryan Stevens. He knows that she's battling. He stayed off the gas and over to the side to let her make that turn there at the end of the straightaway.
Absolutely. Karis just on the gas here behind Hayden. So that is a good battle. The top 3 riders.
All right, that is Jeff Lutker coming by. Lutker, 57 years old on that Kawasaki, and he has been in a race by himself, most of this moto. Here comes your leader, Kevin Rowe. And Jax Hayden pulled up some, Rick, in that last opportunity. He's one buoy back. He's setting up wide, cutting in tight. Rowe looks over, sees him. Oh, and the checker flag comes out. Your winner, Kevin Rowe.
Yeah, nice ride by Kevin Rowe. Equally great ride. Jax Hayden here, moto number 2. And look at Karis Webster making that right hand, just carving that corner. Full power, looking so good. She charged to the end, and she needed to because Kirsten Frost was on the gas behind her. So great racing here. Moto number 2, Gary Holbein hanging on
Wow.
The cross in, I believe, 5th position.
Gary Holbein, I do believe, holds the record for the number of laps by an individual rider in a day.
Well, today he does for sure. There is no doubt about it, Kurt.
Yes, sir.
Race 15 on the line. Novice Sports Stock, Junior Sports Stock, 13 to 15.
On the number 14 Yamaha out of Phoenix, Arizona is Caden Webster.
Number 93 out of Weberville, Michigan, Jessica Burtka.
On the 420 Yamaha out of Johns Creek, Georgia, David Hancock.
757 out of Pensacola, Christian Morris.
On the 787 Sea-Doo out of Warrens Robin, Georgia, Nick Murphy.
And in Junior Sports Stock, 13 to 15, number 59 out of Denver, North Carolina, Caden Baldwin.
The unstoppable Caden Baldwin. You know, Rick, right now today with the bombers on, looking out in the water, love the clear water here in Panama City Beach. It is just absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, it really is. One of our favorite sites, a beautiful place to be. And you're right, I think I love the optics on these bombers. The polarized lenses on this clutch model, it's a new model they have, and I am stoked with them and really getting a good view with these floating bombers. Red flag comes out, they're going to bring them back.
All right, we'll bring him back and do it again. Boat number change there. David Hancock on the 711. Saw his brother Andrew Hancock. Out there yesterday. Kevin Rowe giving some instructions to our racers, and hang on. We know you want to go, but you got to wait for the flag. Oh, man. Caden Baldwin came off the line quick. So did Gary Holbein Jr. Gary's got the inside. Excuse me, that's Caden Webster. Sorry, orange helmet. And that is... looks like Caden Baldwin and Caden Webster going at it again. Caden Webster almost dipped in early on that second yellow, caught it just in time. Baldwin with the hole shot, Webster right behind. And these two already starting to pull away from the rest of the field.
Well, they had a great battle earlier this morning in moto number 2. And it was Baldwin taking the win, but Webster kept the pressure on the entire time. Now, they are in two different classes, but to be honest with you, I don't think that matters at all in this case.
If I'm Caden Webster and Baldwin doesn't take the Joker, I'm doing the Joker. He's not.
I mean, these guys are racing out here, and they are going. Yep. Webster spins out.
And rides it away. Love that.
Fortunately, the third-place rider was not close enough to have a problem with that, because that's a little scary when they spin out in a corner like that.
That looks like Christian Morris, I believe, back there in third position.
So that spin out by Webster allowed Baldwin to run out in front a little bit further and extend his lead by a few more boat lengths.
Oh, we got a rider down here in front.
But now Webster closing the gap again. He is on the gas.
Caden looking out for the down rider, goes wide. Sets up, down front straightaway. Caden Webster's really got to get going now because Baldwin's stretching out that lead. Webster's got The Joker buoy in hand. Oh, and Baldwin takes it first.
And I will point out that Caden Webster is in the lead of the novice sports stock class. They are in separate classes. However, we know they both want to win. There's no question. It doesn't matter who's in what class they're racing. They are going after it here. Baldwin extended that lead a little bit over Webster that time. Got a rider having some issues right out in front here on that HX, trying to get upright and going again. He does. As Baldwin comes in, makes the right turn. Down the front straightaway, the race leader, number 59, Caden Baldwin. Caden out of Denver, North Carolina, 13 years old. On that Champion Power Sports Fly, Riva, Jet Trim, Koba, Racing Sea-Doo HX. And Webster looks like going for that Joker buoy now, closing that gap on Baldwin. And they head down the back straightaway now. Webster significantly closer to Baldwin. Webster, 15 years old, out of Phoenix, Arizona, on the Commander Industries Team Faith Works H2O Racing Yamaha Wave Blaster. And he has closed the gap. We got a great race out in front here between Baldwin and Webster. The Commander kids made the trek here from Phoenix, stopped in Texas along the way for a race there last weekend, and then made their way to Panama City Beach here for this weekend's affair. Second round of the tour. And all the Websters are acquitting them. The Commander kids are acquitting themselves quite well. They've had a number of races under their belt already on the West Coast earlier this year, so they are in fine form already this season.
Well, Rick had to take a little break there. I see Caden Baldwin still ahead of Caden Webster out there. Has Webster taken the Joker buoy yet?
They both have.
Okay.
Webster took it a lap ago, closed the gap on Baldwin. Now you can see they're very tight, and in fact, Webster even a little tighter right now as he continues to close the gap on Baldwin as they make their way onto the front straightaway. The two racers in the lead going at it down the front straightaway. 59 Baldwin.
Mano a mano. Only those two. The rest of the field's out for a Sunday ride. So I noticed later in this moto, Caden is cutting tight using the lightweight of that blaster to try and cut underneath Caden Baldwin. But boy, Baldwin's machine on that back straightaway, smooth.
Baldwin continues to lead Webster, the right-hand side of the racetrack here in Panama City Beach, Florida. See how they carve that right turn on the front straightaway. Webster diving underneath Baldwin's line just a little bit, but Caden Baldwin. Well, we got the white flag out there. Is it the white flag or yellow? Is that
that's yellow. There's a rider down at the end of the straight there.
Quite make that out here.
Back up, and that's slowing down Caden Baldwin. That may give Caden Webster a little bit of a chance there. Let's see what happens as they head out towards the back straightaway. That's a down rider that's up and run, and I think that's Morris. And here comes Baldwin, and there goes Webster. Both trying the inside. And Baldwin makes it. Morris moves over in a show of sportsmanship, and here comes Webster.
Baldwin continuing to hold off the charge of Caden Webster here as the laps wind down. Race number 15.
Yes, the day winds down here, Rick. I want to remind everybody that awards will be after the final race. Try and give us 15, 20 minutes to get all the paperwork right. We want to make sure everybody gets the positions they should. So go ahead and break down your stuff, but we will have awards here behind the Tower of Power as quickly as we can. Want to let everybody have the opportunity to get on the road if they like, or take a swim out here at Panama City Beach since you're here anyway.
Or go hit Sharky's.
Oh, that's a given.
Of
course we're going to Sharky's.
That's what I'm doing.
We're going for lunch now. It's always been dinner. Yeehaw!
I'll be there.
I got my cup.
Caden Baldwin continuing to lead here. Webster getting around lap traffic, trying to track down Baldwin. Baldwin having none of it here in moto number 2. Kind of a repeat. I'm sorry, moto number 3. Kind of a repeat of moto number 2 earlier this morning. Caden Baldwin, number 59, one more time down the front straightaway. Long third moto here to finish out the racing action this weekend.
I know we need a NASCAR type fuel stop here. Oh, another rider down out there. Once again, that's going to give Webster an opportunity to pull up on Baldwin just a little bit.
Oh, I think these riders are starting to wear down just a little bit out here, Kurt. Long laps here in moto number 3.
You know, Rick, I was just thinking, I was looking at Caden Webster as he went around that, and instead of attacking it, going wide, keeping it pinned, he's just like, okay, I'll go around him. I've had enough. Here comes Caden Baldwin one more time, going way wide. Looks over behind him. There's Webster.
That checker flag's coming out, though, and Caden knows it.
Yep.
Makes the final right-hand turn, and he is going to take the checkered flag and be a happy young lad. Webster's going to follow right behind, and he's going to take the overall for Novice Sports Stock this weekend.
Yep.
On the starting line, race number 16, Women's Ski Limited, Veteran Ski GP, and Ski Superstock.
David Hancock comes through, followed through by Jessica Burtka, and that ends race 15.
Women's Ski Limited, 7-12 out of Cornelius, North Carolina, Nikki Turner on the line.
On the Veteran Ski GP, number 3 out of Fuquay-Varina, North Carolina, Ralph McGregor.
Number 51 out of Miramar, Florida, David Cabrera.
On the 54 out of Morriston, Florida, Byron Unger.
Number 253 out of Christchurch, New Zealand, Marshall Brown.
On the 702 out of Raleigh, North Carolina, Jeb Zarzauer.
And number 55 in ski superstock out of Freeport, Florida, Jeff Lutker.
That's our lineup. And look, Jeb Zarzauer's on the line. Where is he? Wow, Cabrera gone. He was right on the band, hooked up. The wave action was perfect for him to squirt out front. Let's see if he can hold it. Cabrera out front early on. I think that's Jeff Lutker behind him. We'll have to check that number as they come around. No question who's in front, though. David Cabrera.
Yeah,
Cabrera with a great drive.
51, Cabrera looking strong again here.
That's Marshall Brown on that 253.
A big SXR 1500.
Accurately described, that big SXR. And he's taking the Joker boy, and Marshall Brown's going to take the lead.
Wow, what a battle.
Or is he?
What a battle.
He is. And he just flat stuffed David Cabrera with that big old SXR.
Yeah, he powered that big Kawasaki right into the lead past the Commander GP1 of Cabrera.
Well, you know, Marshall Brown 63, but David Cabrera not that far behind 55.
Absolutely.
It's
Veteran ski GP, and these guys are tough as nails out there. They are tougher than a $2 steak.
And with your Vegas experience, you've had a couple of those. Who's that in the third position?
That's a note to my good buddy Larry Huffman. I have to
That's Zarzauer in third.
Thinking about Larry.
Yeah, Zarzauer in third. He's got some distance to make up. Did you say Joe Pesci?
No, I said ode to my good buddy Larry Huffman, who. That's one of his famous lines. So, not taking credit, just giving credit to one of the great announcers, race announcers of all time.
Called Motormouth?
Supermouth.
Supermouth.
Yep.
That came after his 40th year of announcing. Wow. Legendary. Well, there it is. David Cabrera made the move. Here's Marshall Brown in second, and Jeb Zarzauer starting to reel in the leaders little by little. Ski 4-stroke stock Superjet and Ski 4-stroke stock. You guys are on the line next. Ralph McGregor making the turn onto the front straightaway.
David Cabrera now back into the lead and stretching it out on that number 51 Commander GP1. Of course, David, the owner of Cabrera Motorsports and really a great source for all things stand-ups. He can help you dial in a Commander, and really knowledgeable about the Kawasaki SXR 1500s, which he has a great deal of experience on as well.
Yes, he does, and Zarzauer made the move by Marshall Brown. So right now, Jeb Zarzauer in full-on attack mode as he's going after David Cabrera. Now, I believe they've both taken the Joker boy. I'm not certain about, yes, Zarzauer did.
The way things look right now, I'm going to be shocked if anybody has anything for David Cabrera, because he has just been a rocket all morning long here in Panama City Beach, Florida, on that Commander GP1. He is really dialed in. And
he's low in the tray, great acceleration, smooth out there.
He is taking care of business today in this veteran ski GP class.
Yeah, had a little problem at Moto 1. He was fourth. He was first in Moto 2. Zarzauer has the same points, and he's in second now. So the only opportunity for Zarzauer is to catch Cabrera now.
Here comes Cabrera around, lapping riders as he makes his way around the track here. Moto number 3 for veteran ski GP David Cabrera, absolutely ripping it up here in Panama City Beach, Florida. Cabrera on that beautiful Commander GP1. Riding for his own Cabrera Motorsports, EMS, Judge Motorsports, Exotic Signs, Tweak Studio, TMR, WSR, WCOT, and JC Racing. 55 years old out of Miramar. David Cabrera really dominating here in veteran ski GP.
Well, we were just discussing, Jeb Zarzauer was on fire trying to chase down David Cabrera. He's got a boat issue now, so that position's over. David Cabrera just needs to stay upright.
Yeah, well, he is absolutely dominating this race today, both the second and third motos. He has been the class of the field, to say the least.
You know what he's hearing now? The same things he was hearing a couple of laps ago, but now it sounds different. With nobody in front of you and a huge lead.
Well, these Kawasaki 4-stroke 1500 motors have proven to be very, very reliable. We rarely see a mechanical with these power plants. Not saying that it doesn't happen, because to be sure it absolutely does, but it's really few and far between. Hardly at all. And you know, I was talking with Steve Webster on Friday about that, and he was saying that it's so much less expensive to race these 4-strokes than it was the triple cylinder 2-strokes.
Oh yeah, because you're constantly re-rigging pistons, twisting cranks, putting them back out there. The 4-stroke's a lot more sturdy platform.
They had to have 3 motors for each rider with the triples.
Wow.
You know, and one race, one backup, and one practice.
Right.
And he said Tyron Matsuris has raced on the same motor for 2 years.
Yeah, he told us that. Not surprising. He builds all the top, or he builds every Commander, doesn't he?
All the motors.
Yeah.
He builds every Commander GP1 motor. And so, yeah, he knows those things inside and out, and they have proven to be ultra reliable. Much less, but the point being the reliability, but less expensive to race over the course of not just a season, even multiple seasons, potentially. Again, not saying that nothing goes wrong with them, but compared to other power plants and configurations in the past, this is a very, very great way to go racing with these 4-stroke 1500 Kawasaki's. It's a shame, kind of a shame that Kawasaki doesn't just sell the engines.
Right. Well, you know it's, and they're likely to continue to dominate racing into the future because, you know, there's not another engine platform out there. Kirsten Frost, can we see you at the Tower of Power, please?
Lap start to wind down here in the final moto for Veterans Ski GP. Marshall Brown, Ralph McGregor, Jeb Zarzauer, Byron Unger, all going at it out here. But, man, number 51, Cabrera, he's going to take the checkered flag here in this third and final moto.
Well earned.
What a great performance here today by David Cabrera, and he's just going to gas it down that straightaway one more time for good measure.
Yeah, and does what an experienced rider does. You go all the way off track.
Race 17 on the starting line. Thanks, Mav, for that bit of knowledge. Ski 4-stroke stock and ski 4-stroke stock Superjet Moto number 3.
Oh, man, one more time for the 115, a Connor Ritchuk out there. He's been out front 2 motos in a row in ski 4-stroke stock, Rick.
Yes, he has, and he's the only rider in ski 4-stroke stock.
I wasn't going to mention that, but now that you have, he's still dominant.
On the Kawasaki SXR 1500, and the rest of the field all mounted on 4-stroke Yamaha Superjets, hence the name 4-stroke stock Superjet class. And I'm not going to go on a rant yet again about the difference in these two boats, other than to say, really disappointed they have to be in different classes. The manufacturers would have just come out with something that were comparable, that we could be racing them together, but that's it. Actually, no reason to say anymore. So, I don't see Connor Ritchuk out here. Oh, yes, he is. He's in second place right now. This race down to 3 riders now. Somebody dropped out. Let's keep an eye on riders as they come by into completing this first lap from the start. Ritchuk in second. And I don't have my binoculars up here. Gave them to the scores. I believe that is Steve Hayden. Number 36 out in front on the Superjet. Ritchuk behind him on the Kawasaki. And Hayden going to go straight to that Joker buoy and take that so he can get a significant lead, at least momentarily, over Ritchuk on the Kawasaki. He's going to try to figure out what he needs to do to keep that SXR 1500 behind him on his Yamaha Superjet.
Is that Stephen Hayden out front?
That is Stephen Hayden, yes, sir.
Hayden third in moto number 1, first in moto number 2. We've got 3 riders in ski 4-stroke stock Superjet tied in points. One of those 3 is going to be the winner. And our overall champion right now looks like Stephen Hayden. Ooh, there's Ritchuk, dominant in his class.
Well, Hayden already took the Joker buoy, so now Ritchuk in good position as he heads out to the Joker buoy. It's going to be close. Here comes Ritchuk on the gas on that big Cowie, and he is going to rocket right into the lead and put Hayden behind him by about 6 boat lengths here right away. Maybe even a little more.
Let's see what Stephen Hayden can do, because Ritchuk flying on that machine. Nobody's been close to him. But Hayden might have an opportunity here.
Actually, that turned into about 10 boat lengths, it looks like.
Right. Got to shift
the
tide.
Now they're on equal footing. Both have taken the Joker buoy. Ritchuk out in front with some nice clean water, relatively speaking. The wind hasn't come up yet here. It's still not, well, we're just after 11 a.m., so the wind usually doesn't come up until the afternoon here in Panama City Beach. And we are going to be done before the wind makes an appearance here today.
Yeah. Well, just as you say that, a breeze starts to come up from behind us. It's like you
breeze.
Control the weather, mister.
Well, I do what I can.
Yeah, well. Apparently, you do very well.
That's
Thanks
what
for that.
You bet.
Next time, I'll ask you to turn it up a little earlier. That breeze feels nice.
That's what I'm here for.
Well, Connor Richuk's here to just dominate out there, and he's doing it today. His brother Matthew had some great rides in Ski GP yesterday. We need everyone out of the water there on the far left-hand side. You can't be out in the water. Please come to shore. Yeah, and lose the football. Can one of our staff go over there, tell that person out of the water, please? Yeah, one more time. Can we have you out of the water, Mr. Football? This is a race course. Connor Richuk coming over the far right-hand side of the course, going to make that turn onto the front straightaway. Very smoothly, very smooth down that front straightaway on that big Kawasaki. Here comes Stephen Hayden. Hayden trying to make that move. Dustin Higdon comes through in third spot. Everybody spread out now. Connor Richuk's not leaving anything to the imagination. He's getting out front and dominating. Stephen Hayden, he's way in front of the other riders in his class, so he's comfortable sitting back there behind Connor at this point. And let's face it, they're a little bit tired in this third moto.
Well, yeah, not to mention that Connor has about 50 extra horsepower.
There's something like that. Hey, we do want to see amateur ski stock. Come on down to the line, please. That'll be the third and final moto of the day, amateur ski stock.
Gary Hopkins, good riding today.
Multiple Hopkins in front of us.
Hopkins, Jules cut his hair off.
I know.
I didn't recognize him. Cut all those long locks.
We don't call him Fabio anymore.
No. Fabio Hopkins?
Yep. I mean, not to his face.
Cut all that hair off, man. Didn't recognize you.
Right. You're looking clean.
No more Fabio.
He's increasing the power to weight ratio.
One more turn coming down the front straightaway. One more time. Our race leader, number 115, out of West Palm Beach, Florida, riding for Easy Ski, SBT Racing, Fly, and Exotic Signs. Connor Richuk continues to absolutely dominate over the four-stroke Yamaha Superjets on his SXR Kawasaki.
We saw Kevin Scott out there looking at Stephen Hayden, giving him some hand signals. That's either 1 or 2 laps to go. We'll see how that turns out.
Well, our riders are getting a lot of laps this third and final moto. These are some big motos. They're getting their money's worth here today. Oh, what a beautiful day here in Panama City Beach, Florida. Sitting right in front of Sharky's Beach Restaurant. What a scene for pro watercross, Kurt.
Man, I'm feeling a Sharky's lunch coming up pretty soon.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Hey, I do want to once again let everybody know this next race, the final moto, we're going to be very quick on getting our paperwork done so we can get all our awards done. I do want to say, and everybody, please pay attention. Amateur ski stock, You top 4 need to go to technical inspection. Amateur ski stock, you guys are headed to the line. Top 4 go to tech inspection or you get DQ'd. So please tell your riders, if you finish top 4, you go straight to tech. See Paul Lair. Well, that must have been the 2-lap sign that Kevin Scott gave him, because here comes Stephen Hayden, and we didn't see the checkered flag come out for Connor Richuck yet. Richuck about a half a lap of lead of Hayden right now. I'm sure he'll get that as he comes across.
All right. SXR 1500, Connor Richuck. He's going to take the checkered flag. And the win here in moto number 3.
Stephen Hayden making his way around in second position, but first in class. So that'll give him the overall unofficially in Ski 4-stroke stock Superjet.
Hayden on the Jason Sahagian Racing Superjet out of Naples, Florida. He'll take the win here. A lot of riders out of Naples now. You know that, Kurt?
Yeah, well, there's good reason. The World Championships have been held there every year for about the last 5 years at least. And we're just going to bring it on home.
Yep.
Once again, it's really important. Top 4 in this next race, amateur ski stock, need to go to technical inspection directly after the race. Wow, you know, Rick, I was just talking to our race director, Robert Sand, and the number of laps that we've been able to give these racers this weekend is really extraordinary, especially considering all the weather conditions yesterday. And I'm not even going to say it. I'll wait until after this race is over before I say this.
Oh, it's been a great weekend.
Jinx.
Oh, that's funny.
Tap, no tags back.
It has been a great weekend of racing, to say the least. Yesterday was absolutely crazy in many ways, but it has been spectacular.
Well, Kevin Rowe, Karis Webster, and Gary Holbein Jr., Kirsten Frost, those 4 are the ones that are in it to win it now in this final moto.
Yeah, Kevin Rowe has got a pair of wins in the first 2 motos, so obviously he's sitting in a good position.
Definitely sitting in a good position, but there's a lot of boats out there. It'd be easy to go from 1st to 9th, with just one misstep. So
you bet.
He certainly doesn't have it in the bag. Oh. Karis Webster having an issue finally gets that boat to the line. Their holders running through the water. Boy, Steve Webster getting a workout here.
Yeah, he sure is.
Look at him go. Is that Caden Holden with him?
Yep.
Gotta love it. It's a family affair for the Websters, as it is for many families out here. Love this sport because of it. Really? Really?
Well, that gives the Websters time to gather themselves. Steve can catch his breath.
Oh, man. You just got to laugh, right?
That worked out well for them.
He moved the flag.
It worked out well for him, right?
Yeah.
All right, got him fired back up, line back up. Here we go. Flag is up, and we're off.
Oh, Kirsten Frost again.
Great job.
Hard on the band. That kid has got a reaction time. He has been out front almost every start. And I don't think we've ever, other than just a second ago, see him completely jump the start. Well, let's see what happens. He lost the lead already. That's Kevin Rowe making a drive. Kirsten Frost in second. Gary Holbein Jr. in third, driving through. Where is Karis Webster? She's back in fifth spot, already moving up, and Holbein Jr. goes down. Rowe with the lead. Oh! Kirsten Frost goes down momentarily, goes from second to third, who had the whole shot off the line. Back in third position now. And here comes Dustin Higdon with Karis Webster all over the inside of him. Webster turns unbelievably close to the buoy and driving it down that front straightaway. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, right there. Holbein Jr. back up, and Rowe takes the outside Joker buoy and has got a 6-mile lead right now. Only the first lap, though, Rick.
Yeah, Rowe, definitely the class of the field here with a pair of first, and now already a huge lead on the field in moto number 3 here on the first lap. And Kevin Rowe out of Ottawa, Tennessee, riding for Chattanooga Jet Ski Club, 44 years old, and he is just really dialed in on that Yamaha Superjet, clearly with a big lead already, and good water in front of him, and it's looking really good for an overall here today for Kevin Rowe, to say the least.
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Kevin Rowe on a Commander.
Oh, you probably will at some point.
Well,
Jax Hayden in second now, behind Rowe, right where we left off, moto number 2, and then Frost in third. 55, I believe that is Lutker in fourth, and then Karis Webster in fifth.
Look at Karis way back. That is a young rider.
Yep.
On the final moto of the 2 days of racing, laid out back in there trying to get any extra acceleration she can.
When she's down in the trail like that, she reminds me of Tina Martinez. Squatting down low like that. We used to not know if Tina was sitting was kneeling, which is illegal.
Right.
She would be down so low, we weren't sure if she was kneeling or not. Of course, she's a good friend of mine, and I kid, but that was true.
Yeah, we used to think that a couple of years ago about Caden Baldwin. Is he on his knees? No, he's standing up.
Exactly.
No question about that now. Fine young man. Here we
Tina
go.
Martinez, our race director, held for Tina Martinez at one time, years and years ago.
I got to think
Desert Rose.
I got to think Karis Webster is about 1.5 feet taller than she was. Oh, Karis backing it down, diving in.
She keeps charging. Karis charged that last moto to the last turn, and I was watching her make that turn. She carved it hard.
Yep.
She knew Frost was behind her and finished strong, and she just motos the entire time. And speaking of which, there's another one that does the same thing out there. His name is Gary Holbein Jr.
Right behind her now.
Yeah, they are battling. Watch Webster and Holbein go at it here. That is a good fight.
And Webster started to pull away from Holbein a little bit back in that section.
Well, could it be that Gary may be tiring out just a little bit? He's only ridden about 150 laps today.
Right, but that was just today.
That's what I mean, just today.
Not a chance.
I think he's in 4 classes, if I'm not mistaken.
And winning 3 of the 4?
He's in 3 for sure. He may be in 4. So he is going to be frighteningly fast in years to come.
Well, Kevin Rowe still with the lead. I see Kirsten Frost back there in third, Jax Hayden in second. Jax Hayden, another one of those young riders that's getting better and better and better.
I'm really enjoying this race with Holbein and Webster. They are pretty darn close, and they're battling, and they know they're close, and this is fun to watch.
Well, it's that race and Ryan Shortstroke Stevens over here battling with Jeff Lutker. Oh, no, that's Dustin Higdon. Those two have been going back and forth. Oh, who went down?
Well, I believe Stevens is being lapped, if I'm not mistaken. But that's a whole nother race going on there.
Oh, yeah.
As our race leader comes around, he is on the gas. But, you know, Jax Hayden is keeping him honest here.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he seems to lose a boat length a lap, so it's not much.
And then Frost behind Hayden. That's been pretty steady.
Yeah, those three have been out front. And here we go, the Webster-Holbein battle.
Then Ludker behind them. And then, yeah, the Webster-Holbein battle continues. And Kara's doing a great job, and she's starting to move up now a little bit on, I believe, and just as I say that, she bobbles, and then Gary bobbles.
Yeah, the water was roughed up there pretty good.
It's a rough spot right there.
Well, and I'm watching Karis and Gary when we can see them real close, and both of them are showing signs of fatigue. Can you blame them? But let's see if they stretch their backs out just a little bit down that back straightaway. Gary's doing it, but keeping his speed up. And Karis makes the pass.
Karis keeps that low profile. She keeps that handle pole. She likes to ride with that handle pole really low.
Yep.
She keeps it right down there. Keeps her down, her center of gravity down low, and she is able to carve some really nice turns that way.
We've seen some beautiful ones in this class. She's great on this blue onto the front straightaway.
Right here, she carves a nice. See, she keeps that handle pole all the way down, basically on the hood. And Gary now coming on the outside of Karis down the front straightaway. Boy, they are going at it, aren't they?
Yeah, well, Karis looked to the wrong side, didn't see Gary, so I don't know if she knows how close he is behind there. She's going to find out soon.
She gets down in that tray a little bit, back up, gathers herself, and I think there could be just a little bit of fatigue setting in here. They are getting some laps. Was this a 10-lap 10 laps for the
22
amateur ski stock, and this is like a pro moto right here.
Yeah, these riders are getting their money's worth today. And here comes your leader, Kevin Rowe. He's lapping up through the field now.
Well, you want to come race pro watercross?
Look at
better be ready.
Just as I say, Kirsten Frost was right on Jax Rowe, and I got cut out down before he went down.
He went down, back up, no harm, no foul.
Right.
Ludker now behind him. Frost in third, Ludker in fourth, Webster in fifth, and Holbein in sixth.
And Kara's starting to pull away from Gary Holbein now.
Yeah, she is. She's stretching out that lead over Gary a little bit on that last lap.
That.
Okay, here we go. Our leader coming around one more lap. Boy, Kevin Rowe has been absolutely untouchable in this amateur ski stock class. You know that, Kurt?
He really has, and honest to goodness, I really would love to see him aboard at GP1 to see how he could do against some of that competition. I love the sportsmanship here as riders further back in the pack move over, let him by. That was Seth Pettit. Great job, Seth. We appreciate that.
You know who I think we're going to see or hope to see on a GP1 in a year or two is going to be Jax Hayden.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's going to be real fast once he gets another year of seasoning underneath his, because Jax now is 16, so he is ripe, and he is fast. So I think he's going to be a contender down the road here a little bit.
All right, well, it's 2 laps to go now, and that sign was given out by our starter, Kevin Scott, and Rowe comes off the back straightaway. Relaxing. He'll make the turn, and one more lap to go as he comes back onto the front straightaway. I do believe.
Yes, sir. It looks like 995, a race leader, is getting the sign from our starter. 1 to go. As does Jax Hayden. As does Kirsten Frost. the
Jax
top
Hayden
three.
making the pass on Dustin Higdon, and Higdon is like, I'm going to just stick with you here for a while. Jax makes a turn off the front straightaway. He's good to go. Kevin Rowe continues to lead. And here's the battle as Gary Holbein goes down just as he was coming up on the backside. Karis Webster. Karis, no worries, mate. Wide open down the front straightaway. One more lap to go.
I didn't know Karis was from Australia.
She knows some Australians.
Okay.
She speaks multiple languages, English and Australian.
We said no worries, mate. So I thought,
exactly.
She's either from maybe from New Zealand or Australia. I did not know this.
I didn't say she was there. I just said she spoke the language.
Okay.
You said she was there. Mate. All right, final time through. Making the turn. Coming down the front straightaway, giving some applause. Kevin Rowe, unofficially, your amateur ski stock winner, if he goes directly to Tech.
Jax Hayden comes in second. Frost in third. It's going to put Jeff Lutker, barring any changes as they work their way in. I think Lutker is going to take a fourth in this final moto.
And
Gary Holbein comes in.
Yeah, it looks
and
like
Karis on the back straightaway, the last lap.
Yep, unfortunate.
Oh, that's too bad. Oh, I hate to see that. Oh, Gary comes in, and he has got to be absolutely worked.
Whooped.
Yep.
If that kid gets out and starts putting stuff away.
Falls off his ski. He
right?
just fell
like,
over.
Dad, you take it.
That's it.
D-U-N done.
I'm bushed. Bushed.
Let her go.
Oh, say it ain't so, Kurt Nolenberg.
It is so, Mr. Lake.
Wow. And that is going to do it. What a weekend of racing here in Panama City Beach, Florida. Perfect setting right in front of Sharky's Beach Restaurant. The beautiful Gulf of Mexico just served up some brutal conditions and exciting for us. Brutal for the course marshals and racers yesterday, but boy, the racing was good.
Well, could you script it any better?
No.
Yesterday, the pros are here. It became immediately apparent the juniors needed to race today, and had a great day. And I can say it now as the final boat comes in without hitting anyone. No injuries this entire weekend.
Not one.
Hallelujah.
Which is absolutely mind-boggling if you think about the conditions yesterday.
Unbelievable. Well, that just goes to the quality of our racers, the quality of our staff, the on-water crew, unparalleled. Really, these guys are doing such a phenomenal job. I can't imagine they would do it any better. And the people out there might know, Rick, because we're on the World Wide Web. They might see somewhere else.
Well, yeah, our course marshals yesterday, all three of them got rolled at least once, if not multiple times out there. None of them got hurt. Ralph got scraped up a little bit, and early on in practice during that first junior practice, which was it told us a lot about the fact that they're not racing yesterday, and they removed them today, but it was a great weekend.
He only got us setting up the course. That's Scratch was bringing a breakout there.
That's right, Kurt.
Wow.
So,
amazing.
Phenomenal day of racing, and we hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. And we will be back in about 3 weeks in Riviera Beach, Florida, Kurt.
First time there for me, down near Miami. Can't wait, Mr. Lake. We are going to have some serious fun down there.
You bet. We always do.
Well, I'm Kurt Nolenberg.
Rick Lake.
We are out of here. Completely.
Pro Watercross has enjoyed 25 successful seasons on the water. The world's greatest watercross racers excite the senses, engage audiences, and build communities through integrated campaigns that get results.
It's a great tour. It hits a lot of hot spots. It travels, a lot of the U.S. and it brings you to all kinds of different demographics of people that you're racing against, people that you don't get to see all the time. It's a tour that is complete, from kids racing to adults racing, a lot of spectators, and just the best locations to go to. Daytona, Panama City Beach, Pensacola. We're in Georgia, Racine, Wisconsin, Texas. We go everywhere.
Beautiful spot, Naples, Florida. You can't get any better than that. And LIQUI-MOLY launching this range, it's marine range, partnering with such a great entity is just beautiful.
For season 26 and beyond, Pro Watercross continues its leadership role in environmental education, safety, and with a family-friendly vibe.
A lot of good people here. It's a good place to raise your kids and teach them how to succeed in a competitive environment. I've been doing it since 1996. My 17-year-old son's now three-time world champion at jet ski racing, and he grew up by my side.
Are you ready? Get online with prowatercross.org.
Somebody comes out of this race as a world champion.
The real fun beach is calling. Make it relaxing. Make it exciting. Make it yours. Take a hiking adventure or cruise into the sunset. Our sugar white sands and turquoise waters are just the beginning. Plan your trip now.
Pro Watercross has enjoyed 25 successful seasons on the water. The world's greatest watercross racers excite the senses, engage audiences, and build communities through integrated campaigns that get results.
It's a great tour. It hits a lot of hot spots. It travels, a lot of the U.S. and it brings you to all kinds of different demographics of people that you're racing against, people that you don't get to see all the time. It's a tour that is complete, from kids racing to adults racing, a lot of spectators, and just the best locations to go to. Daytona, Panama City Beach, Pensacola. We're in Georgia, Racine, Wisconsin, Texas. We go everywhere.
Beautiful spot, Naples, Florida. You can't get any better than that. And LIQUI-MOLY launching this range, it's marine range, partnering with such a great entity is just beautiful.
For season 26 and beyond, Pro Watercross continues its leadership role in environmental education, safety, and with a family-friendly vibe.
A lot of good people here. It's a good place to raise your kids and teach them how to succeed in a competitive environment. I've been doing it since 1996. My 17-year-old son's now three-time world champion at jet ski racing, and he grew up by my side.
Are you ready? Get online with prowatercross.org.
Somebody comes out of this race as a world champion.
The real fun beach is calling. Make it relaxing. Make it exciting. Make it yours. Take a hiking adventure or cruise into the sunset. Our sugar white sands and turquoise waters are just the beginning. Plan your trip now.